Today, we're diving into the science that has totally changed the game for how we teach our dogs. We're going to see how training can go from being a frustrating chore to, believe it or not, a really joyful conversation, a real partnership.
So, have you ever been there? You feel like you're just locked in this constant power struggle with your dog. You get so frustrated because they just don't seem to get it. It honestly feels like you're speaking two completely different languages, right? Well, what if that whole idea is just wrong?
Modern behavioral science shows us that great dog training isn't about dominance. It's not about being the alpha. It's actually all about having a clear, effective conversation. It's a dialogue where we learn to speak our dog's language, based on how their brain is literally wired to learn things. Okay, so here's our roadmap. We're going to start by totally reframing this conversation. Then we'll get into the nitty-gritty science of your dog's brain. From there, we'll build out your practical toolkit, try it out on a fun trick, and then we'll pull back the curtain and see why this is about so much more than just tricks.
So first, let's just set the stage here. This whole approach, it isn't just a list of commands and techniques. It's really a philosophy. Every single time you interact with your dog, it's a chance to build trust, to make your bond stronger, and to help create a dog who's actually excited and confident about learning with you.
You know, to be a great teacher, you first have to understand your student. So we're going to pop the hood and look at the core scientific principle that really explains how all animals learn new things. And yes, that includes your dog. This is the key that unlocks everything.
Okay, this foundational concept is called operant conditioning. And I know it sounds really technical and complicated, but the idea is actually super simple. Your dog learns that their actions can make good things happen. When they choose to do something, like sit, the consequence of that action is what tells them whether they should do it again.
And this is where we have a choice in how we shape that behavior. On one side, you have positive reinforcement. That's where we add something good, like a treat, when they do the right thing. This makes the dog want to do it again. On the other side, you could add something unpleasant, like a leash jerk. And sure, that might stop a behavior in the moment, but it pretty much always creates fear and anxiety. That just poisons the learning process and your relationship. To me, the choice is pretty obvious.
And get this isn't just psychology, it's actual brain chemistry. When your dog gets that reward for sitting, their brain gets a little shot of dopamine. That's the feel-good chemical. And it basically puts a big glowing sticky note on that behavior in their brain that says, yes, that was awesome. Let's totally do that again. You are literally building a happy chemical pathway for success.
Okay, so we've got the science. Now, let's see how that translates into the actual skills you need. Because, let's be honest, effective training is just as much a learned skill for us humans as it is for the dog. Our clarity and especially our timing are absolutely everything. The absolute key here is timing. A little tool like a clicker acts like a camera flash. It captures the precise instant the dog does the right thing. And the rule is simple. You click, then you treat. The click tells them, that's it, you've earned a reward, and then the reward comes. If you're fumbling for the treat while you click, the dog just ends up following your hand, and the whole message gets totally scrambled. Now here's a pro tip. When you want to add a word to a behavior your dog already knows with a hand signal, the order is so important. You say the new word, like spin, first. Then you pause for just a second, and then you give the old hand signal they already know. This teaches the dog that the new word predicts the signal. Pretty soon, they'll just respond to the word itself to get to that reward a little faster.
All right, let's make all this theory real with a hands-on example. We're going to teach a simple spin, but trust me, the trick itself is just the vehicle. What we're really teaching is something much bigger and way more important. Teaching a spin is actually pretty straightforward. First, you just use a treat to guide your dog's nose around in a full circle. After you do that a few times, you make the exact same hand motion but with no treat in it. Boom, that's your new hand signal. You mark the spin and reward from your other hand. And finally, use that same sequence we just talked about, new word, pause, old signal, to add the verbal cue, spin.
But here's the real magic. While you think you're just teaching this cute little trick, you're actually teaching your dog something way deeper, an awareness of their own body and where it is in space. It's wild, but this improves their physical coordination and builds up their problem-solving skills at the exact same time.
And that brings us to the big picture, the real so what of all this. This isn't about creating a dog who can do a bunch of party tricks. No, it's about building a foundation of communication and cooperation that makes every single part of your life together that much better.
I mean, this is the practical payoff right here. Teaching a shake creates a good feeling about having paws touched,
which can completely transform stressful nail trims. A calm play dead is amazing for vet exams. Even a simple sit is a powerful way to teach a dog to say, please, instead of jumping all over your guests. These so-called tricks become invaluable life skills.
So if you remember one thing, let it be this. The goal is never just the trick. It's the process. It's about the two-way street of communication you're building. It's the confidence you give your dog by showing them how to succeed, and it's the deep, incredible trust that comes from you being a clear, consistent, and positive teacher.
So with this new way of looking at things, the possibilities are just endless. It's not about commanding them, it's about collaborating with them. So I'll leave you with this to think about. What new conversation, whether it's big or small, are you going to start with your dog today?